So one thing is abundantly clear. The Indiana Fever win that game yesterday with Temi. And they blitzed this guy anyway. But Temi is genuinely one of the perfect players. One of the perfect players for the Indiana Fever. Exactly what the team needs. And right now it seems like, it's a horrible decision for getting rid of her. And they chose to protect Damaris Dantas over Temi. And look, I'm going to be honest. This is not meant to be a knock on Dantas. I tweeted out, I was like, protecting Dantas over Temi. People were like, oh, you're going at Dantas. No. Like, I'm sorry. It's like saying, let's just say there's a hypothetical. It's the wrong game. Let's just say there's a hypothetical situation where you have a choice. You could get the choice of Luka Doncic or Trae Young. Trading the pick that became Luka Doncic for Trae Young, for the pick that became Trae Young, was not a good call. Does not mean Trae Young's bad. I don't know why people are thinking it's saying that players are personally bad. I think Dantas will be fine. I think she'll be fine. The problem is just fit. The problem is fit, where it's like you can't play Dantas at the same time as Aaliyah Boston. Like, if you look at teams in the WNBA that you can play Dantas, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Let me look at the Sky game. That you can play them against the Sky. You can realistically, depending on if the Sky are ever going with an E-Will lineup, you can do that. But like Dantas again played 11 minutes, was +9 those 11 minutes. And I just don't see necessarily purely fit-wise where Dantas comes in. Because like she's a stretch 5 who doesn't play much defense and is slow-footed. And you've got Bree Turner, who is a solid defender, who is mobile enough. And by the way, Bree Turner was fine defensively yesterday. She was good defensively, actually. But she can't score layups. Like, that is a fact. Like, she cannot score layups. I want to show you guys the percentages. Bree Turner's freaking percentages. And people are going to be like, oh, your Monday morning quarterback. No, I've been pushing this from day one. It's very obvious. It's the most obvious thing looking at it, is that they need Temi. Temi was one of the best backup bigs in the W, and we saw Temi hitting threes for the Valkyries. I think there's a 0% chance that Temi was actively looking to get out from the Fever. I think the reality is, because there was no guarantee the Valkyries were going to pick her, I think the reality is that Temi was going to be an unrestricted free agent and she was leaving for Eurobasket. That's my prediction. Is that Temi is leaving from, I think it's like the 15th of June till the end of the month. Temi will be gone for those, and she was a bit injury prone last year. And look, Bree Turner is a good defender. Who is a better defender between Temi and Bree Turner? I'm going to go with Temi, but it's close. But like, on the offensive end, if you look at Bree Turner's like career, in fairness, she shot 1 shot per game last year. She actually shot a high percentage last year. But she's just not a good offensive player. She might as well not be there. And that's the problem is that you've got a player who is at least a comparable defender in Temi, a comparable defender, faster, and 100 times better offensive player. And the problem is with Dantas, who they chose to protect over Temi, is that Dantas is a one-dimensional offensive player who can't play defense. And that is the one problem I do feel when it comes to WNBA scouting, is they seem to overly praise one-dimensional players. For example, like one-dimensional isolation scorers are seen as more valuable and impactful players than 3-and-D versatile wings. Like, Jewel Lloyd is not a better player than Kayla McBride. Jewel Lloyd is not a better player than Leonie Phoebish. But because Jewel Lloyd can every now and again give you 25 points on 27 shots. Actually, to be fair, Jewel Lloyd did score 20 on a lot of efficiency yesterday for the Aces. But the WNBA teams, and that includes the Indiana Fever, puts way too much value on one-dimensional players. And in fairness, Dwana Bonner's not a one-dimensional player. Natasha Howard, look, I thought she was actually pretty good defensively yesterday. Caitlin Clark is an all-out offensive player, getting better on defense, but it's not like she's one-dimensional in her offense. She can do a lot of things. Lexi Hull is that role player. She's killing it. And Sophie Cunningham is that do-it-all player. Like, Sophie Cunningham is going to be very important for this team, but for me, there's no logic. There's no logic or reason to have gotten rid of Temi. Other than, realistically, she's going away for Eurobasket. That's the only thing. And people can complain all they want, being like, "Oh, it's only 2 games." Like, I've been talking about this for months. I've been talking about this for months. We talked about it the day of the day of the expansion draft. This was seen as the shock of the expansion draft. Nobody understood what the Fever were doing. Like, absolutely nobody understood what the Indiana Fever were doing with this. And it makes even less sense now. It makes even less sense now. And it's shocking looking at it, because I'm like, the Indiana Fever are so close to being a perfectly constructed roster. And in fairness, maybe Bree Turner is all of a sudden going to be is going to pick it up, is going to start finishing better. Maybe it's early. But like, at no stage in Bree Turner's career has she been any sort of an offensive player. Like, Temi, at least overseas, Temi's been killing it. Temi for London Lions was killing it on the offensive end. Temi for Besiktas was killing it. And I remember making videos and I was like, people don't realize how good Temi is on offense. People just look for a defense and a running. And I'm like, people don't realize how good Temi is, because it just didn't work out because she was injured so much. Her offense was struggling last year. People don't realize how good Temi is because she was coming back from injury. She was fighting that. But like, you see her there with the Valkyries. With the Valkyries, she was absolutely killing it. She was absolutely killing it for the Golden State Valkyries in that first game. And yeah, I think the Fever this one's going to be a real tough one. A real tough one for the Indiana Fever to kind of try to find another Temi, because to find another Temi, you're paying a near max contract. Like, yes, I will say this, there's a chance that Michaela Timpson becomes that long term, but it doesn't appear that the Fever have any plan short term for Michaela Timpson, which is fine. But with that expansion draft going in, trying to replace an irreplaceable player in Temi, and she would have been, and by irreplaceable I mean you cannot find a player on her contract that is as good as Temi as a big and that plays both ends of the floor. Look, I'm not saying she's some absolutely unbelievable offensive player. I think Dantas is in fact a better offensive player, but she's 100 times better defender than Dantas and a 100 times better offensive player than Bree Turner, who, again, look, Bree Turner was not bad. She was not bad yesterday. Like, offensively, I'm just watching. I'm like, they ended, was it 3 possessions in a row on freaking mid-range shots for Bree Turner, who can't shoot. She couldn't hit free throws. But that being said, like, there are positives to Bree Turner as a player. Like, she gives you something. Dantas gives you something. The problem is you can essentially get what both of these play. You can get the best of Bree Turner with, or a lot of the good of Bree Turner with a lot of the good of Dantas. You could have gotten from Temi. And not only that, after seeing the contract that Temi signed for like 80 grand a year, had Dantas been taken by the Valkyries in the expansion draft, it's the money that Temi's on is the money they paid Bree Turner. If Dantas had been taking the expansion draft, it would in fact allow them to have taken another draft pick as well. Like, they could have had Bree Hall or another training camp player, or they could have brought in a training camp player from overseas, but it seemed like they just really didn't want to do that. And it was just a weird one. It was just a weird one all around. This decision did not make sense at the time, and it makes even less sense now. But anyway, I'll see you guys.